technical. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our 6th Digital Live of the summer. Today, I am here with Everett, Avir, and myself, and we are the field managers with the Digital Summer Clinic of the summer. And today, we are also joined by Dr. Lonna Hardin, who is the founder of Voiceblocks.
Thanks for being here, Dr. Lonna, and thank you to everyone tuning in. We're really looking forward to your conversation, and for those of you watching, feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and we'll get to them later during our Q&A session. Okay, so to kick things off, Dr. Lonna, would you mind introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about your experience as a professional and your company?
We can't hear you.
You can't hear
There
me.
we go. We can now.
Yeah.
No, we can't now. Maybe try to disconnect from your headphones if you can, or maybe you can edit your mic settings. Okay, we're just having a little technical difficulty, everyone. So just be patient with us.
Very excited, though, to see all the things that we get to learn today from Dr. Lonna and learn more about Voiceblocks. So.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I know just from like my research that it is an IEP helping program or app. So I'm excited to learn more about that.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can. Welcome back.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me. I just want to say thank you for the invite. I'm so excited to be here. And just so you know a little bit about who I am and what I do. So my name is Dr. Lonna Hardin. I'm the founder of Voiceblocks, and we're really focused on helping special needs families get the care and the support that they need. We do that really by trying to bring people together, all of the parties involved, and we're really focused on making sure that we're moving, the actual IEP and special education process forward. So I'm happy to be a part of that. My own experience, I was a parent of a child who had an IEP, so it's something that's really close to my heart.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing that. We loved hearing about that and love seeing how much experience you have being in the process and helping families. So to get things started, we just have a couple questions to help us and everyone get to know you a little better.
Sure.
All right, and then I know you touched on it a little bit, but what inspired you to start your company, and what was the biggest challenge you faced in the early stages of starting it?
So honestly, I have another company that I started years ago that I did a lot of work with. I'm a children's book author. And so really I have a company that kind of works with music and tries to teach children to value who they are and really tap into their gifts and thrive. And so that's really how my work in education got started, beyond just my professional background. And actually, Voiceblocks came about because I was really trying to think of a way, like, how can I reach more children? Because, you can't be everywhere at once. And this is something that I wanted to build that would outlive and outlast me. So yes, I have experience, and my child had an IEP, but actually Voiceblocks was born out of my first work around teaching children how to find their voice and defeat voice snatchers. And so from that, as we begin to just dig down into like really why were parents buying our books, us? What was it that they loved about us? And what would they be willing to maybe see packaged in a tech that could be, more accessible to everyone? It was really around really this idea that special needs students and people who are just different, and they learn different, right? And they might come from different walks of life and different backgrounds, but everyone deserves a seat at the table. And so really that was how Voiceblocks was born. It was born out of me just wanting to grow and impact more people across the ecosystem. When you talk about the challenges, man, I had so many. I don't know where to start, but just to kind of summarize it up, I think one of the biggest challenges for me just being in business was being a single mother and still having to navigate like all of life, right? And still having to come and believe that what I was working on was valuable and it was worth moving forward. And so I think one of the biggest challenges for me, because I am from like an entertainment person and I love people, I'm very happy, was getting people to like take the message seriously and to understand that like it was an SOS. It wasn't just like somebody who just got together and wanted to do something, right? And so I think that was my biggest challenge, is just getting people to actually believe that I was who I said I was, and that I was not like somebody just trying to kind of just do something, right? And that most of everything that I've ever put my intention to, it's really been to try to leave some sort of impact and help people. So that was really my biggest challenge, is getting past the people that were like, okay, maybe we're not taking you so seriously, but I think they know now that I'm pretty serious about it, and we've had some great things happen.
Thanks for sharing that. I think that's a big issue that a lot, or challenge that a lot of women go through when they're trying to start a business. It's like, okay, what do you really want to do with this? And something that you highlighted that I really loved was wanting to make it sustainable for everyone and just like accessible in terms of everyone deserves the same opportunity. So I love that those are two things that you highlighted. And so for our next question, we're just curious, what made your company initially decide to be a part of the Digital Summer Clinic?
Well, I have always, I'm all about the next generation, right? I'm all about like, I just firmly believe that people shouldn't have to make the same mistakes that you made, right? And people should be able to learn off of that. And so actually, I've been working with Ann Arbor Spark for a very long time. Even when they first did the first internship program before the state took it over, I've always like kind of been taking advantage of these resources. And so my specialist, he actually reached out to me and was like, you should look into this program. And so anytime that he is, giving me suggestions, I'm like, well, I'm gonna at least look into it. And I did. And when I read about the program and I read, first of all, let me say that I'm from Michigan. Michigan is my heart, like because I was born there. I have family, like everything about Michigan, right? But my work in tech has expanded all across the country. So I had already done like the NASDAQ programs and some of working in Silicon Valley and working with a lot of other programs. But when this opportunity presented itself to actually pour back into Michigan, which is my heart, which is, the ecosystem of tech growing and the young people in the next generation thriving. Like there was no doubt in my mind that I should at least put forth the effort to apply. And I'm really glad I did. And I'm really grateful that, the clinic took a chance on us.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I know you guys are working towards such a great goal. In what ways have the Digital Summer Clinic interns you've worked with made a meaningful impact with your company this summer?
Well, you know what? When I just thinking about this question again, I can say it from a very professional, technical place, but I really, first of all, value people. And I think both of my interns brought just different perspective to us. And they both challenged me to grow in different ways. And for that, I think that alone is great, because when you're a startup, you still need to kind of understand that if you're really trying to grow a company, you're eventually going to have to grow to deal and work with people, right? And so the impact they left is just bringing their authentic voice and their authentic selves. Each of them were very much engaged and wanting to see our success and wanting to help us get to the next level. And for that, I'm so grateful. One of my interns actually has a child with special needs, so they were able to bring some extra expertise. And my other intern, he is amazingly creative, and he's actually brought so much insight and culture even into the space. And so both of them, I'm very grateful just to have them have been a part of our summer. But on top of that, their work ethic was absolutely stellar as well. And they were coachable. And I think that's important. Not everyone is. And at the end of the day, we don't know everything. And so even just having outside people come and add their voice also gives you an opportunity to grow and sharpen and be better. So that's some of the ways that they have impacted us, and some of the things are going to help me move forward with even as we grow the company.
That's amazing. Just to shout out the interns, Crystal and Israel. I get to hear about the work that they do with your company every week, and it sounds like they're doing a lot. So thank you for giving them that room to grow and be creative. It
I
sounds
didn't I didn't I
amazing.
didn't know how they would feel about me saying their names, right? But here's the thing. I definitely shout them out. I think each of them are leaders in their own rights. And um, I don't know how Israel will feel about me telling you. I don't know if he told you he sang the first day I had him sing. So that was awesome. He also has an amazing gift of song. And then Crystal, I've been able to also just see how her passion for her child and how she cares for him. And so, yeah, they've been amazing, and I want them to succeed and excel. And anytime I really host someone, especially people that engage and they give their all, my hope for them is always that they can go even beyond, and that I'll have, put some small seed that will help them get to the next place. So
Thank you. I think you definitely cultivated that space for them. So
I
we
hope so.
really appreciate it here at the Digital Summer Clinic. So
Yeah.
now we've made it onto our Q&A portion of the live. And so we have one question from the chat today from Jonna Paul. And she said, Dr. Lonna, thank you for all your amazing insights on your startup. I think everything your company has to offer is such a beautiful thing. I do have one question as a young entrepreneur like myself who has dreams of starting my own business and or company one day. What are some insights you could give me as I come upon graduation this December?
Awesome. Thank you for that question, Jana. So I'm going to be very candid, because I think that although I'm going to answer this question, I have to give space to the fact that there's different generations, right? And so I come from a generation that may be focused more on work and servitude and all of those things. And what I'm seeing in the next generation is like, no, I can make money easily, right? I don't have to stress and everything. So everything I'm going to say is from that lens of my experience. But I will first start by saying, do not allow anyone to talk you out of what you believe in. Do not allow anyone to take away the core of who you are and what you believe is worth investing in. Because I tell all young people, you only get one life, right? And what you do not want to do is have these amazing ideas and say you want to do all these things and then start talking to your friends and people, and then they're talking you out of it and saying, I don't know, or that's never been done, or everybody's doing that. Like at some point as an entrepreneur, you have to drown out the noise. You have to tune out everyone else's voice, and you really have to tap into your own. And the other thing I'll say, and this is why I gave that big disclaimer, is I think the wisest thing you can do whenever you're starting something of value is sit down and count the cost. Because I think so many people do not count the cost, right? So we're not trying to be on TikTok. We're not trying to be seven-figure earners where there's no like real substance, right? We talked about sustainability. So you really need to think about like, what are you willing to go without to invest? What are you willing to say no to? Because someone told me a long time ago, and I didn't understand, that the most powerful thing you can do as an entrepreneur is say no. And so you just have to be willing to say no to the things you don't want, and yes, every day to the things you do.
Thank you for giving Jonna some of that great advice. And so our next question is from Kim Barker, who is one of the mentors in our program. And she said, I wish I had voice blocks when my kids were young. Her question is, who do you charge, the families or the schools?
Thank you for that, Dr. Barker. Well, actually, as we begin rolling out and we're expanding voice blocks, we are have to charge families, but we have a free tier. So those are for families who maybe want a bit of an elevated experience. But our ultimate goal, what we're working to do, is grow the platform in such a way that families don't have to pay at all. So, and actually right now, I'll just do a quick plug. If you know any families that are looking to get their first year free and also want to be a part of our VIP and brand ambassador program, we're actually taking VIPs. So even those families that maybe can't afford it can still get our help, our services. And right now, as we're gearing up for our big launch, I'm even offering consulting and one-on-one with families who need it to get their family through the next phase. So hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone who submitted a question in the chat and for helping expand our conversations with Dr. Lonna, further. And thank you for everyone who joined us today.
Yes, and thank you guys for having me. Please give my thank you to the entire team as well.
We will.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Lonna. It was so great having you on, especially me myself, being a sister to someone with special needs. I see like the value of your work, and I find it really important. But so thank you very much for coming today. For everyone else that's watching, be sure to stay up to date with our upcoming digital live events this summer. Our next one is going to be on Monday, August 3rd at 5:30 p.m. And we'll see you there.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.